Okay, so let's get right into it. So here's the scenario, right? So I actually have some questionnaires that I'm going to ask you. People that most of the people that ask this type of question, right? So first question is that supposed to say that if I was to purchase, or if I purchase a property back in 5 years ago, and I purchased it back in 500K at that time. This time around in 2022, the property is now worth let's say 1 million, right? So the question is, how do the regular Joe would take out their money from their property going into the second property with the intention of going into a secondary property? What do they have to do to refinance, to take out their equity? And also, what would they have to do? What are their qualifications in order for them to do that?
Okay, so it's pretty similar to a purchase as far as qualifying goes, right? So you got to go through the credit check, the application process, right? What do you do for a living, and where do you work, and how long you've been there, and that type of thing, right? The refinance, you can go up to 80%, and that's under like good rate. Sorry?
80% loan to value, you said.
80% loan to value. So, okay, so let's say you bought that house, just for example, for 500,000, right? And you put down 5%. So with that insurance premium, right? Everyone pays the insurance premium. If you put down 5%, you probably end up with somewhere, maybe around 98, right? Let's say. So you're at 490. That's what your mortgage would be roughly, right? And then you may have paid some down. Let's say, just for argument's sake, 475 is your mortgage balance today. If your place has gone up to $1 million, you could potentially unlock or refinance up to 800,000. So you do $800,000 minus what you owe, which is 475. So there's potentially 325,000 available equity takeout to then use for any, investing purposes or purchasing, like you were saying, or like the topic is the second homes, right? So there's quite a bit of equity there. You may not need it all, so you don't have to take it all. Maybe, and some people may say, okay, well, maybe I need 200,000. I'm going to use 50,000 to pay off some credit cards or a car loan, and then use the rest of the funds to purchase an investment property, right? And that investment property can be purchased anywhere, right? So your options are open as far as that goes. And one of the good things is with the way the market is we're not seeing a whole lot of appraisals, right, that are going low. So you do have to get an appraisal. In most cases, I would say like 90% of the time you need an appraisal. There are the odd time you may not need one, but most cases you're going to need an appraisal. And that appraisal right now, they're all coming in right on the value that people are estimating, right? So
pretty much in a theory, for those people that are watching, or whoever watching, even if I'm live, that to basically refinance it. So you take whatever existing you have, which you have, and then you have your equity side. On the equity side, you have about 80% of that is what they would allow you to basically give it to you as in a form of either you want to take it 100% or you want to take it in HELOC, whichever forms you want.
You can do either a combination of a regular mortgage with either the variable or the fixed rate, or you can do a combination of variable, fixed rate, and a line of credit. So something like that, right? You can do, there's actually quite a few different variations you can do. So that's where you sort of, the mortgage broker would be helping you plan what is the best option for you. Should you take out a regular straight mortgage, or should you go with something that's a mortgage and line of credit? Sometimes that depends on, the rate, right? Lines of credits are generally a little bit higher, but they're interest only, so the payments are lower. Right. And they're open, right? So let's say you wanted to take the equity out today, but you weren't sure if you were ready to buy something, or you don't find something for say 6 months. The advantage of the line of credit portion of that mortgage is that you're not paying anything on it. It starts at zero balance, right? So you only pay on what you use.
Right. Yes.
So if you have a $200,000 line of credit and you haven't used any of it to buy anything yet, then you don't pay anything on that. So it's just sitting there open for when you do decide you want to buy something. So it's kind of nice that way. Even people that aren't buying investment properties are getting lines of credit, right? Just to have sit there in case they ever need it for weathering a pandemic financially, or maybe 5 years, 10 years down the road if they want to do something. So
right. Yeah, that's a good point. You actually just answered my second question, that what are the qualifications, right? So